Since the original How to Train Your Dragon, fans fell in love with the misunderstood Toothless. The trailer for the third movie in the series have ramped up anticipation as a female and potential love interest is introduced. Watch until number 1 to see why we think the trailer is trying to mislead us. If this is your first time visiting The Things, don't forget to subscribe and please give this video a big thumbs up. Here's 10 things that don't make any sense in How to Train Your Dragon 3: The Hidden World. Flirting lessons. One of the main elements of How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World trailer that caught audiences has to do with the new courtship between Toothless and a female dragon. We can already see that Hiccup does his best to coach Toothless when it comes to flirting. However, Toothless's apparent lack of any type of knowledge related to how to flirt doesn't really make any sense. Light Fury, as she is being called, is considered to be a wild and elusive dragon who is afraid of humans.
Oh, sorry.
Toothless, on the other hand, considers humans to be his family. He also seems to be instantly attracted to her based solely on the fact that they look like they're the same species. An article from Nerdists suggests that Toothless's lack of game has to do with the fact that he doesn't have a family that would have taught him these subtle social interactions. Hiccup isn't very helpful either, but that's because he's too closely connected to Toothless and doesn't want to see him grow up and go away. Not only are these statements contradictory, but by this time, wouldn't have Toothless been affected by seeing other dragons around him, not to mention Hiccup and Astrid? It doesn't make sense that Hiccup is this clueless about flirting. Stoik is back? There's no questioning Stoik as a great memorable character and a wonderful dad.
I'm proud to call you my son.
Voiced by Gerard Butler, he's left a lasting impression on audiences. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the second movie, but it would be safe to assume that most audiences would not be looking for Stoik in the third and large installment of the How to Train Your Dragon series, yet he makes an appearance. Though this doesn't make sense, we can maybe entertain possible theories that would make Stoik's comeback possible in How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. A MovieWeb article suggests that Stoik could be part of some kind of dream sequence in the movie. Though this would explain the confirmation of Butler as a member of the movie's cast, it still seems like a small detail to have included in the trailer, as it would have been a fun surprise reserved for just a scene of the movie. In an interview with Screen Rant, Butler has said that he believes this movie to be the third and final chapter the series deserves, adding that he is confident fans won't be disappointed. Maybe we will just have to wait to see how Stoik makes it back into the hidden world, but one thing's for sure, we're happy he'll be a part of it. Underground World. As a title, The Hidden World is cool because it suggests the discovery of something new and exciting. It wasn't until the trailer was released that it became clear that it also alludes to an important setting for the movie. The trailer is stunning, revealing an underground world full of dragons. There's a lot of light and glowing too, as well as cave-like structures that extend overhead. There seem to be evanescent moss and emerald-like stones jutting out of the ground. There are also bright neon coral reef-type plants in the background of the poster. Wow! The post published by Big Eyes on Ain't It Cool compares the setting of this underground hidden world to a psychedelic forest like something out of Avatar, or the Dwemer underground village from Skyrim. It's definitely visually appealing and suggests a mythical or magical element that should be very interesting. The main issue with this literal hidden world is that it doesn't make sense in the context of the story as presented in the trailer. We are told that the dragons will have to be protected by the humans. We're having trouble wondering how hiding them in the hidden world isn't the obvious solution to this problem. Hiccup's beard. One character whom we are excited to see back in action in How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World is Hiccup, voiced by Jay Baruchel. Hiccup's journey allowed him to find his own place in his village, ultimately following his father's footsteps and becoming a leader, while also forging his own path. Through his friendship with Toothless, Hiccup was able to combine human and dragon strength to create a utopia. This is an inspiring story that shows us the benefit of remaining open-minded and inclusive to those we classify as scary just because they are different. That's a lot of wisdom to acquire for one character. In the trailer, Hiccup appears beard, and the internet ate it up. Not only does the facial hair suit the character, but it is reminiscent of his father's much larger beard. It also bestows authority and reflects Hiccup's wisdom, all of which he has worked hard to earn in the previous two movies. However, one thing that doesn't make sense about the beard is that it isn't consistent throughout the whole trailer. This could signify a time gap, or maybe something happens that causes Hiccup to shave his beard. Let us know if you have any predictions. Night Fury or Light Fury? In the trailer, Astrid refers to the discovery of another dragon of Toothless's kind as a Light Fury.
She's a Light Fury.
However, this is a bit confusing since she seems to have the exact same features as Toothless except for her color, which would mean she is also a Night Fury. Writer and director Dean DeBlois calls Light Fury an agent of change, drawing Toothless away from human influence. Light Fury is also described as a close variation of Toothless's species. Light Fury's ability to disappear is brought up in the trailer, suggesting that though she might be a similar species to Toothless, she possesses different abilities. Even Light Fury's physical characteristics don't make any sense. For one thing, she is sparkly, has smaller nails, hardly any definition, and appears to have smooth skin instead of scaly skin. We haven't been presented with any dragons in the franchise that appear to be definitely male or female based on their appearance, so the choice to make Light Fury so obviously feminine is confusing. This can actually be seen as sexist, as pointed out in an article from The Daily Dot. We're definitely excited to see how this relationship turns out, and if any of these confusing elements are addressed. The villain. Let's talk baddies for a second. After all, there isn't much of a story to be told without a compelling conflict. F. Murray Abraham promises to deliver a tense performance as the new villain Grimmel. Head of DreamWorks Animation Film Group has commented on this casting choice, saying that Abraham will bring an eerie, gentleman-like calmness to the villain. Grimmel is a big game hunter who has hunted Night Furies into near extinction and seeks to capture Toothless to become his hunting trophy.
Hand him over.
I will never give him up.
DeBlois said that Grimmel is the perfect villain because he's the perfect balance against goodness. He knows exactly what he wants and is very single-minded in his approach. He's representative of a close-minded colonial approach whereby the only good dragon is a dead dragon, as DeBlois explains in an interview with /Film. One thing that doesn't make sense is that we know that Toothless and Light Fury will have to work together to prevent from being captured. This seems like a villain only threatening one of the characters of the movie, albeit one of our favorite, and yet it is presented as an issue threatening all dragons. So far, this conflict doesn't make any sense, but we're sure things will be clarified in the movie. Bird mating tactics. One thing that doesn't make sense, though it's adorable and hilarious, is the mating ritual we see in the trailer for How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. From what we can tell, dragons mate by using some sort of mating dance. Toothless seems to be completely unaware of this, but is encouraged to keep up his hard work and determination by Hiccup, who is watching from the sidelines. This doesn't make any sense. If Toothless was so attracted to Light Fury because she's one of his kind when he thought he was the last, he should have already known how to mate with her because they are from the same or closely related species. If Light Fury was also awkward and unsure of what to do, Toothless's adorable missteps would make sense. However, we don't have any other indication that she has interacted with others of her species, and she somehow understands what to expect from the mating ritual. All of this is reinforced by the fact that DeBlois researched bird mating rituals to help understand or predict how dragons might mate. In an interview with Collider, DeBlois also admits he used birds as inspiration because they were the funniest. Game of Thrones similarities. Vikings and fantastical medieval knights are not the same, right? We've been second-guessing this since the undeniable similarities between How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World trailer and shots from Game of Thrones have been compared. Memes comparing the two have always been popular for their uncanny similarity. Now with the inclusion of a white dragon and burning ships, as well as Hiccup's beard, the similarities are overwhelming. It doesn't make sense that there are so many replicated images that often appear as an animated representation of the popular TV series. Even Kit Harington voices a character in the movie.
You'd make a good trapper.
A Huffington Post article provides several examples of resemblances between the two, and it's blowing our minds. Among the pics are Toothless flying into battle in a stormy sky compared to Viserion flying into battle. One last coincidence is Ed Sheeran's cameo in Game of Thrones and his song in the trailer for How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. These coincidences are mind-blowing and unexplained. They just don't make any sense. This prompts us to wonder if writer and director Dean DeBlois drew some inspiration from some of the shots in Game of Thrones. Whatever the origin, these epic shots are definitely getting fans excited for the movie. Production delay. It's a good thing that absence makes the heart grow fonder, because we have been waiting for a third How to Train Your Dragon movie for a long time. Apparently, the delay is due in part to the fact that DreamWorks has restructured for a 3 films a year plan. Still, this doesn't explain the 5 years between the second and third installment of this very successful series. A lot of this has to do with the movies being passed around. The original movie was released under DreamWorks Animation's partnership with Paramount Pictures. The sequel was then a result of a partnership between DreamWorks Animation and 20th Century Fox. Now produced by Universal that houses DreamWorks Animations, the third movie took time. It is understood that this is due to DreamWorks Animation's financial struggles over the course of the past few years. How to Train Your Dragon 3 is also not the only movie that's been delayed, and is not the worst case scenario. Movies like Monkeys of Mumbai, BOO, Bureau of Outer Worldly Operatives, and Me and My Shadow are still in limbo and awaiting release dates. Hopefully the delay will be worth it, even though it means that How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World will be opening the same month as Captain Marvel and Godzilla 2. Sisters? So let us get this straight. Toothless finds another dragon that is the same species as him. He previously believed he was the last of species yet, upon meeting Light Fury. His reaction is to fall in love with her and not to commence tracing their genealogy. Let's step back and consider that even the original synopsis of the movie stated that Toothless's elusive mate could tempt him to leave. There's no confirmation that Toothless and Light Fury engage in a romantic relationship, and Toothless leaving the strong bond he has with Hiccup for a love interest just doesn't make sense to us. Based on the fact that Light Fury looks like a female of Toothless rather than a dragon from a similar species, it's plausible they're related. The use of black and white for each dragon can also serve as confirmation that these two are not only from the same species, but from the same family. Now that Star Wars is Disney's property, and with examples like Elsa and Anna, where color is used as a way to juxtapose siblings, it's likely that the trailer is meant to confuse us, because in reality, Toothless and Light Fury are related. What do you think? Let us know your predictions in the comments. And that's all for 10 things that don't make sense in How to Train Your Dragon 3: The Hidden World. If this is your first time visiting The Things, don't forget to subscribe, and please give this video a big thumbs up.